Obviously, for the longest time, only the 4 schools had won. And it was a very daunting kind of challenge, because when you think over the 30-some years that still only 4 schools had won, that's hard in the athlete's head. Again, kind of, it's how do you get past that hurdle? It's always kind of in the back of everyone's head. You know, I don't know if they can do it. And I mean, I really genuinely felt that the last year and the 2 years prior to that we had a real chance.
Freshman year, I actually fell twice in the team final. I just didn't know how to handle team pressure. Like, I'd never experienced, you know, you have to hit this routine or the team is not going to win. Then I crumbled and I carried that through to beam, and I fell on beam as well, and I hadn't fallen on beam like the entire season.
They had the mindset that one little mistake, uh-oh, you're done. Oh no, and we had a little mistake here or there. And they thought, well, it's just can't do it now.
Coming into sophomore year, I was a little bit more prepared, going to Ohio, and we barely even made it to nationals. There were so many small problems within the team, between falls here, falls there, girls not cheering for each other here and there, drama here and there. The team's dynamic in general really reflected in our performance, and that's why we didn't make nationals. Junior year was great because we had the goal. We were like, you know, we're going to make a change from sophomore year. This is the year we're going to turn everything around. And then going to nationals, and you know, we don't have any regrets from nationals. Yes, we were a flex of a toe from winning behind Bama, but we learned a lot because we didn't crumble at like a major championship, which we had done in the past. It was bittersweet, but yeah, I remember being in the arena and looking at Nate and being like, we have one more year.
Basically, what I had to do when I first came here was, I knew it was going to be a challenge as far as getting the, I would say, the kind of the blue chip recruits or the highest level recruits. And we were really looking to find the athletes that were just hard workers, athletes that were willing to kind of take a risk a little bit, because I was a new coach and I'd never been a head coach before, and that those athletes, that they wouldn't be afraid of that they were willing to kind of jump aboard and see where we were going to go. I just really genuinely felt that Florida was a gold mine, an untapped gold mine. I told Jeremy Foley, I said, of course Florida can win. Why not? We have every resource. We have tremendous academics, we have tremendous athletics across the board, facilities, and we have just what I would say the total package.
Coming into senior year, each and every single one of us came back from the summer literally fired to go, because we were that motivated, that hungry to be just as successful, and that motivated from the summer coming into preseason. It was incredible to see. I think it changed the atmosphere, it changed everything. And then the freshmen coming in, we had a very, very nice class come in, because we had Bridget, who was Mackenzie's sister. So she kind of saw what had happened the year before. She had, you know, spoken to her sister, and I'm sure she got the lowdown on how it was. And then we had Bianca, who is a fellow foreigner, international, who came from Canada. So I really bonded with her well, because I understand what it's like coming from a different country and coming into this new environment. And then we had Morgan Fraser, who's from Orlando, really close, and she definitely been keeping in touch and seeing everything that was going on. And then, of course, we had Bridget Sloan, the most incredible athlete ever. She used to be one of my idols, it's crazy. So to find out that she was coming to Florida, I was like, no way.
Being the first world champion to come to college, I think the expectation might have been there, but I never thought of it. Like, my goal for last season was not necessarily to win as an individual. As a team, yes, that is always, you know, you always want the best for your team. And I think that was the biggest adjustment for me, going from elite to college, just because in elite, it's way more individual. And then in college, it is all about the team.
I don't think all the eyes were on Bridget, because she knows that the team is really well balanced, and the team, you know, was just loaded. You know, of course, Marissa King was an Olympian in 2008 as well and was really coming into her own her senior year, really matured throughout her time here. And then of course Elena and Mako had that huge experience as well, and very incredible gymnastics. And then Ajane and Keitra, who won the all-around the year before and was the Honda Award winner. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna contribute here? Nobody cared. Nobody cared who was gonna win. It was always about how the team was. And I think that really took the pressure off of Bridget. It allowed her to find her way. And it was great with all the athletes at any given time. They were ready to step in and step up. This year, I just felt that it was their mindset a little bit more when we would have a mistake. Perhaps, you know, Bridget would say, it's all good, we're fine, we're gonna do it just like yesterday, don't worry, as opposed to the nervous look or the eyes, kind of the deer in the headlights. And so I think it was our team and how they responded to situations that maybe wouldn't go 100%. This team was prepared to turn it in their favor.
I think in 2012, when they got second, it was bittersweet. It was just one of those moments. I don't even know what they were feeling. I don't know if I ever want to know what they're feeling to be that close. But at NCAA's this past year, it was something.
I don't get nervous like before when I'm at the hotel and on the bus ride and all that stuff. I'm usually pretty distracted with other things. And then I start to feel the butterflies when the national anthem's being sung. So that's when it's like go time.
Wasn't nervous at all, actually. I remember not having any nerves and kind of being like, I want to start competing now. Like, let's go.
Walking in for competition, you know, we won prelims by almost a whole point. And we walk in for finals. No one ever said, you know, we're gonna win. It was always, we got this, you know, we can do it.
Going to our first event, you know, being always a little bit shaky to start off with.
Spice and I were first and second, and Spice does her beam routine. Incredible. She did an incredible routine. I get up and do my routine. I'm like, all right, the ball's rolling. We're good. We got this. We're going.
Me and Marissa don't watch the routines before us because we want to stay focused on what we need to do and not let little things that the girls do before us kind of get in our heads. But you hear the crowd go, oh. And we're like, oh no.
I didn't know she'd come off. I kind of heard the crowd and I was like, it was kind of loud everywhere. So I was last up, so I was kind of like trying to stay focused. But I did see Nay's score, and it's okay because we're more than capable of allowing one mistake.
I honestly did not see her fall. I just heard the crowd, and so I knew that maybe it was a huge wobble, but who knows. But also in the back of my head, I knew that it was kind of up to me and Mako, the last two people that went on beam, and so Mount was a little shaky, and when I went for my series, honestly, I do not know what went on at that time. All I remember is just hitting the floor.
I think the mood just went from like way up here to way down here.
I got extremely teary as soon as I saw it happen. And I remember looking at Mackenzie, who had to go after Keitra because she was fifth up in the lineup. And Mako just looked at me like, no way did that just happen. This can't be happening right now. We've just fallen twice on our very first event.
Honestly, that was the most nerve-wracking routine I have ever done in my life. I thought there was like an earthquake going on underneath me because my legs were shaking so bad.
I was more angry at what happened and more determined to hit my routine to the best of my ability. And you know, I did a better routine than I had even done in qualifications. And going to that locker room after beam rotation was, it was kind of like an ice cold box. Nay initially looked absolutely devastated. Keitra didn't even know what to say. I think because her fall was kind of like, she couldn't really even believe that it had happened. And the team kind of weren't really sure how to react.
It was like, Okay, so we want to make this really interesting, I guess. I kept telling Marissa, I was like, we're just trying to throw a curveball. We're just trying to show the other teams that, no, we're not trying to show the other teams anything. I was like, never mind. I was like, I'm not quite sure what's going on right now, but we have got to change this.
As a coach, I really have to impress upon the athletes that you don't have to be perfect. Mistakes are going to happen. You're going to wobble on the beam. You're going to step out of bounds on floor, but it doesn't affect the final result if you don't let it affect the final result. And it was not going to happen. I told them we're not leaving here without that trophy. And they're all like, that's right, we're doing this.
Doing the math from the previous day, with the mistakes that we'd made, we'd beaten the second team by 7/10. We can totally counter 4 and still get this title. Like, there was no doubt about it.
We are not done yet. We still have 3 events, and in gymnastics, we were like, anything can happen. You never know what is gonna happen.
The hardest thing was motivating and getting in each one of the girls the belief that we could still all do it.
Marissa kind of gave us a little bit of a pep talk. She had like tears in her eyes because it was her senior year and you could just tell she wanted it so bad.
Marissa and I just start dancing, we get the team, we kind of get the mood back to where it needed to be. We kind of get the attitudes to be a little more positive. It was like, beam is done and over with. Yes, it was not exactly what we wanted, but it's not the end.
So when we walked out of that locker room, it was a totally different attitude than when we walked in after beam.
Coming to floor, we were ready and we were like, okay, let's start this competition again.
Well, our first girl up on floor fell.
And okay, yeah, we had Jamie Schisler fall, very first person up. Phased us a little bit, but kind of like made us more determined because we're like, what is going on right now? Like, this is not what we've done throughout the season. This is not what's going to happen this year. We are the Florida Gators. We have been ranked to the top 3 the entire season. We need to show everyone what we are capable of doing.
Floor and vault are my best events, so I knew that, you know, I could kind of bring myself back, and I literally did the best floor routine I've ever done, and that's what really got me going again.
They just rocked the most amazing floor, I think, in NCAA history.
Routine after routine, 9-9, 9-9-5, 9-9-5, 9-9-7-5.
There was no one that scored lower than a 9.95, which is unheard of. After floor, it was like, okay, now we're back to being normal.
So we went to vault, started up on vault, nailed one vault after another. It was almost as if like it never happened. We just totally forgot about it.
And then we have another bye. And we go into the locker room, and it's so funny, like, everybody was just on this high of, oh my gosh, we could do this. We could actually win with a fall. Like, we have the capability of doing this. And Rhonda is just, you know, Rhonda, Ash, and Britt are in the locker room, and Rhonda's running around with glitter, just like, we can do this. And she has glitter going everywhere.
You know, I was just a goof. You know, I was in there with my glitter spray and was spraying them all, and they were dancing.
The music was blaring. You know, everybody was back to their normal selves. And we walk out for bars, and of course, you know, everybody is having fun, but deep down we're all like, all right, it's time to kick it in gear. Like, we got this. We got bars. Bars has been, or was, one of our strongest events last year.
I mean, all of them on bars were great and consistent, but the back 4 with Keith, Bridget, Mac, and Elena was just outstanding.
You could just see the determination in everyone's eyes who was competing that event, that they were gonna hit.
We hit the first routine, hit the second, third, fourth, fifth. We're like, all right, this is how it was supposed to be.
I knew after Mako hit, I was like, with Mako hitting, we can still win even if Elena has a mistake, which I knew Elena was not gonna mess up. Elena was just, she was really ready.
And Elena nailed her bar team.
She hit her routine, and it was just like, do we do it?
I remember there was a gymnast maybe still on floor from Oklahoma, because floor was the last event, I think, to finish up. I could be wrong, maybe beam or floor. And I just pulled all the girls in the huddle and I said, listen, just be patient, be calm. I'm just so proud of you guys. You competed just lights out.
So we're standing in the corral in a huddle and we're like, okay, and we're watching the scores come up and we're like, we're just waiting.
And everyone was like, don't look at the scoreboard, don't look at anything, just everybody come together, and we just started kind of chit-chatting.
I was like shaking and I was kind of like crying because I wanted this so much, and I put everything, like absolutely, my junior and my senior year, I put absolutely everything into the team. Just because I didn't want to accomplish or go through what we went through our sophomore year. I was like, that's not going to happen. I put my heart and soul into everything, and I was like, please, can this be our year?
Then all of a sudden we look at the scoreboard and we saw that we won, and the tears just started flowing again.
I remember just jumping on top of everyone. When we found out, oh my gosh, like just automatically crying and screaming and jumping on each and every single one of the girls. And we were all just like, we didn't know who to hug because we wanted to hug like everyone.
The emotions from the beginning of the meet to the end of the meet basically almost were the same. You wanted to cry at the beginning and we were crying at the end.
So much emotion because especially, you know, that senior class, that was something that when they all came in as freshmen, I had told them, I said, we will win during your time. You will leave here with a ring.
Literally every single one of those girls on the team, I love as sisters. And not saying I didn't do that previous years, but I wasn't so close to each and every single one of the girls as I was my senior year. And that really does make a difference.